Hello and welcome. Today we'll be playing Roll of Taiwu. Let's learn how to play. Enter the valley. Yes. Let's first learn how to play before we play it. Wait for me, father. Catch up with me, silly girl. You've been idling around. You've been idling along the journey here. There's plenty of time to play. Here, that's because of your superior footwork. So you think I'm slow? Ha! You speak the truth. There are very few alive who can rival my. That's enough chatter. We're trekking through the Yangzhong Valley. Those treacherous terrains and lurking occult forces could spell your doom. So stay alert. Yes. Stay alert. You don't know what's going to be going on. Baba must be speaking to me through the sonoconvulatory clairvoyance technique. Though his voice may seem to be run my ear, I'm sure he himself is not far away. Indeed, there's a vastness to his voice, which makes me he must be in the fields ahead. Time to go and have a look. Okay, left click a tile to select it, then click the same tile again to move there. Each move consumes energy. WSD on your keyboard, each move consumes energy. Oh, look around, no sign we can be in these fields. You took so long to find where I spoke to you earlier, I got impatient waiting for you and left ages ago. No fair, you know the road better and your footwork out is much better than mine, not to mention I'm the one carrying all the luggage. Yeah, rushing off away? How am I supposed to catch up with you? I cannot place the blame on me. If you decided to ride instead of carrying the weight yourself and wandering around with the horse, you would have been left it long ago. The horse is almost skin and bones, I couldn't possibly let it carry me all the baggage. It is indeed, you're too kind. Or I would not have brought you in the first place. I sense a change in the river, and since the horse is well fed, I finished the last part of the journey on horseback. I am certain it is absolutely neighing with readiness to repay you for your kindness. Looks like there's no easy way for you today, horse. Horsey, once I catch up to him, I'm going to personally make him pluck some fresh grass for you to eat, okay? The thin horse nods. Like here. Okay, tier 7. Horse with a long muzzle and hair growing on its mane and a tail that sleeps standing up, and usually thin and weak if not fed properly. Inventory space 100, minus 40 energy cost. Okay. When your inventory is overloaded, the energy cost of tile movement will increase significantly. A warning will be displayed at the top of the screen. Equip a vehicle to increase your character's weight bag limit. Click on the character's put in the lower left and into the top of the equipment and then horse. You have encumbered. Moves will be lost when the month changes. Moving across the map will require extra time. Whoa. Bam. There we go. You hop onto the horseback and give the thin horse a gentle tap. Hang in there. Horsey, we're almost there. Vehicles not only increase travel bag weight limit, but also reduce the energy consumed when traveling. Left click to see how much energy it takes. Traveling, most characters also consume energy. You can check your remaining energy for the current month at the bottom of the screen. Here? Resting and recovering will improve your energy for the next month. After the month's change, the remaining energy of this month will be kept for the next month. With ample rest, you can enhance your recovery for the next month. During the month's change, additional recovery for inner birth, chaos, and basic attributes will be provided based on the remaining energy. Okay, so we get what? 30 energy, inner breath, chaos, and attributes. He rode the horse forward, despite being scrawny and slender. It gallops forward swiftly and relentlessly. Fog was permeating the valley, feeling a rush of youthful joy. You stood on the horse's back as it zipped forward. For a moment, the wind gushes past your face, made you feel like you were soaring through the air, filling you with a thrill as the road wound ahead. You suddenly come face to face with your foster father. With a crisp voice, your foster father leaps into the air and grabs the horse by the reins. His hands grip the reins, and seemingly without lifting a finger, the thin horse was lifted into the air before being gently placed down onto the ground. Despite an abrupt stop, neither you nor the horse were injured in the slightest. You cannot help but admire your foster father's pinpoint control of force. Wheel of Taiji waves into void leaves. Was that Wudong's boundless might? Good, you remember even my casual words from days ago. I'm delighted. Despite the hardships, I have made the right decision in bringing you here. You always said that I am a once-in-a-lifetime prodigy in martial arts. You're always right about everything. That's true, your talent is unmatched, but capability alone means nothing without the effort to develop it. Even the finest jade reveals its opaque only through the labor bestowed upon its polishing. You will spend the next decade in this valley training diligently. Do not let your potential go to waste. Decades? Do you want me to train in this valley until I grow old and frail? Our mortal enemy is as treacherous as he is capable. You stand no chance against his prowess before you master my life's work and harness the power of the Fuyu sword. I fear you will meet a horrific end the moment you set foot outside the valley. It will do you good to remember my words. I'll take them to heart. It's getting late. The terrain of the valley is dangerously steep, not suitable for traveling. Stay close to me. We're heading to the haven ahead for a rest. Don't go wandering off and wasting time. As your foster father finished speaking, he leaps ahead swiftly and vanishes. You took the horse's reins and gently stroke its mane. Dear horsey, bear it for a little longer. I'm sure you'll get a good meal soon. You mount the horse, about to chase after your foster father, but your arm went weak. You cannot even grip the reins. It must be from all the exhaustion earlier, draining your energy. Perhaps I should rest here for a bit, then head to the haven once I've recovered my energy. When remaining energy is insufficient, you need to perform a monthly advance to recover energy. Click the energy bar at the bottom center of the screen or press space bar to perform it. Ooh. So I gotta be careful of clicking space. Careful. A brief rest has restored my energy. It is time to go find foster father. The sun was setting, its fading light slanting across the land. You urged the horse forward, and soon the forest ends. The path turned, and you entered the haven. You dismounted, letting the horse graze, and walked along the stream, searching for your foster father. Along the way, you saw some peach and plum trees by the stream, a few monkeys playing, and felt your worries fade away. Monkey, have you seen where my father went? One monkey, hearing this, suddenly squeaked and gestured animately as if it understood human speech and was trying to say something. You felt playful, began chatting with the monkey. Apart from me and foster father, there's probably no one else here. Would you like to come with me and talk to me often? The monkey tilted its head, its meaning unclear. Just then you hear a familiar, soft laugh behind her. Silly girl, these monkeys live deep in the valley and know nothing of human speech. How could they understand you? The monkey stayed startled by the voice, darted into the forest and vanished. You turned around and indeed saw foster father standing under the peach tree. You giggled and ran into his arms. With monkeys to keep me company, I wouldn't get bored even if I stayed here for decades. This place sits deep in the valley and the view is beautiful. I say we build a hut and call this home. What do you say? Sure, I want to build a hut. I want to build a swing, a garden, and a training hall, of course. I know you are sincere and that you are not. And when you're not, silly girl. Looks like I'm going to call this deep valley my home for now. All the lanterns at the marketplace, the colourful river barges, the shadow puppets and the lion dancers. I guess this is the last time I'll be seeing them. The deep valley, worn hoofs and distant lights. Okay. Okay, there are quite a few bits of tutorial, aren't there? Chopping, carrying, and again, and again. After a few days of hard work, there's a small pile of fresh bamboo sitting on the open ground. Then you suddenly realize that you haven't seen your father for a while. Father promised me we'd build a bamboo hut together. Now he's nowhere to be found. I bet he's somewhere taking a nap. I'll forget it, he's getting old. Probably shouldn't bother him again. I guess I'll do it myself. Well, on a settlement tile, click industrial above the tile into the industrial. Oh no, I almost forgot something important. Father said that this place is not like the others. I must use this as the core material if I want to build a bamboo hut here. Look at the abundant, adorable colors on this little pelt. I wonder what it does. My foster father said it's called disposable animal. Said to smooth the mind. Disposition anima. Said to smooth the mind and calm the soul. I wonder if it really has really as effective as he claims it be. After giving it a futile thought, you decide to place the 7-hued iron plate into the bamboo hut's foundation. Now that everything's in order, I'm going to build a bamboo hut that make Father's jaw drop to the ground. 7-hued raspberry under the bamboo hut. When repairing it, use it as core material. T9. Silly girl, why do you very slightly off center? Just as you were about to begin building the bamboo hut, Foster Father suddenly approached from behind, carrying a large pile of wood, his face full of worry. Before you could speak, Foster Father set the wood aside, walking to the bamboo hut's foundation, leaning down to brush away the soil, moved the 7 he's put 3 inches to the left. It's so upset that it must be because I buried the plate slightly off center. Knowing you had nearly made a grave mistake, you suppressed your disappointment and went to apologize. Foster Father just gently wiped the mud from your face before scolding. It's okay, setting it right like this before turning disaster into blessing is your destined opportunity, my dear. And with this volley for the protection, the hiding your you'll be safe. But to work, some arrangements are needed. I have other matters to attend to. Come get me when the bamboo hut is finished. With that, Foster Father bent down, hoisted the bundle of wood onto his shoulder and went elsewhere. Since Foster Father has other matters to attend to, I shall build the bamboo hut. This time I'll make Foster Father proud. Click the construction space in the lower right corner of the industrial to view the... Select the building you wish to construct. And place the building where you want to build it. Construction takes time to complete. Perform monthly in advance. You hacked the fresh bamboo to erect a hut framework and stabilize it with soft clay. Before long, a finished bamboo hut was standing before your very eyes. Foster Father said, I need some arrangement to work. I should go get him. Okay, yeah, okay. All these are really shorter. movement, bamboo. That's also setting up the plot, right? Okay, you and Foster Father entered the bamboo hut. Inside there was a main hall and 2 inner rooms. Though not perfectly spacious, the windows were bright, decor simple, and with a refined charm. Haha, good girl. Even if I had built it myself, it would have not been as good as this. Foster Father raised his hand to gently pat your head, brushing away the wood shavings. Haha, you're teasing me, aren't you? I only learned a tiny bit from you. My meagre skills are hardly worth mentioning. Foster Father waved his hand and said no more. Then he took a writing brush from his robe and began to draw slowly inside and outside the bamboo hut. Followed Foster Father, watching him draw a diagram in several places on the beams, draw frame, left and right wall, and behind the hut. Immediately recognized this as the diagram. Father, you once said human temperament can be divided into the 5: wit, decency, composure, fortune, valor, plus harmony representing earthly advantage, and luck representing heavenly fortune. These made up the 7. What is the purpose of the diagram? You remember it after just one mention. The 7 are the human heart and nature. These serve to reveal and guide a person's ones. Our enemies feed on the human heart. Only this method can conceal us, keeping the enemy from sensing our location. They're very urgent. I'll explain it to you another day. Foster Father, you followed Foster Father to the open ground in front of the bamboo hut. Foster Father sat cross-legged, his right palm pressing towards his dantian, his left palm slowly pushing forward, evidently channeling his inner strength. Soon, white vapors rose from Foster Father's hand and fine sweat appeared on his brow. Foster Father once said that channeling ki is most dangerous. A slight mistake could be fatal. Thinking that you held your breath, not daring to make a sound, afraid to disturb Foster Father. Most focus intently and guard him. As you were pointing, you suddenly smelled a foul, rancid odor. Turning to look, you couldn't help but gasp. A giant serpent was approaching with its head raised. Its body was as thick as a beam, scales like tiles. Its crimson forked tongue flickered, hissed with dark shapes. Behind it as more serpents slithered out, surrounding the bamboo hut like an iron barrel. Such a giant serpent in the valley? No, I must not let it disturb Foster Father. When standing on a tile, during an encounter, click on the encounter. Slay deep serpents. Foster Father performs a mystic art, activating the 7-hued iron plate power to conceal us. Okay, our name. Foster Father's, yeah, goal, protect him, smooth it easy. Oh yes, because I know what that is. Cool. Go. The deep serpent's neck, ribs, flared, its bloody maw wide open, chin charging it, Sauron with no stench. Father is at a critical moment. I must repel the deep serpents quickly. Okay. Combat. The steep serpent may be massive, but it is only flesh and blood. I should keep my distance and wait for an opportunity to strike its vital points. Shifting footwork slightly, closing in on the deep serpent. During battle, hold the right mouse button in front of you to move forward or backwards, changing direction between you and your opponent. Attacks can only hit opponents within your attack range. You can also use W. Okay. Mere dozens of feet away, I can strike now to test its defense. Click the left mouse button or use the J on the keyboard to perform a weapon attack. Thrust with a sword, not the deep but the deep serpent dodged aside. No, the serpent is huge. The python is huge. You don't move so fast. What if I keep moving? Missing, what should I do? Don't panic. I was about to fight again when suddenly hearing his voice. There's three sword styles, hack, slash, and upswing. Stab style is swift, but the steep serpent moves quickly. And you go to dodging, you might fail if you try to stab at it. If you fight with hack or upswing, you'll be unable to parry. Okay, each weapon has specific techniques. When performing a weapon attack, attacks are made in order of these techniques. Different moves at just different parts. Force, dexterity, and accuracy. Yeah, okay. None of those have been translated, so it's hard to know which one is which. Striking the snake's weakest point, aim for the midsection. Lands a solid hit, and hearing her foster father's voice again, she alters her stance as instructed, swinging her long sword horizontally to strike right at the serpent's belly. The deep serpent takes out a pained hiss, daring not to lose focus. Unleash another sword strike. Damage generates defeat markers when they are displayed in the defeated at the top. When a character's defeat markers reach the defeat threshold, the character is defeated. Up the top. Yeah, really? There, yeah. Huh? Victorious, defeat the serpent, XP, prestige, entries. Cool. Victorious, Dole. They're no less than yours. Oh. Never weaker than yours. Is older than you when you are not of age. Okay. I don't wish to take your life. If you know what's good for you, flee. Seeing the deep serpent bleeding professionally suddenly relented, she stopped and sheathed her sword. The deep serpent, seeming to understood into human speech, immediately turned and slithered into the bamboo forest, hastily escaping. Turned and saw beads of sweat on father's brow, his robe soaked through, a clear sign that he is guided that this guidance has drained his energy severely. Heart tightened, knowing that foster father was at a crucial junction and that must not be disturbed. She must not let the deep serpents trouble him. Double click on an encounter or move with WASD. When moving onto an encounter, other characters within the encounter may also perform various actions. Oops. Yes, it comes in to attack us. Annihilation, limbo, protection. What's my range? Taking more hits. Oh, what's that? It felt like it dropped something. Okay. I must repel them, I guess. Comes. There's longer range than me, eh? There we go. Oh, where did all these snakes come from? Still shaken, looks at the blood on the ground. Suddenly she hears a powerful shout from Foster Father. Then several strands of mystic sheen shoot up into the sky, illuminating the surroundings. Only as after a short while did they fade. As soon as the strange lights fade, Foster Father sways and collapses from exhaustion. Quickly step forward to support Foster Father. Although his face was pale and his clothes soaked in sweat, his expression was laxed. The deep serpents stalked the earth, laying dormant until being stirred. The foundation must have stirred the earth vein, disturbing the creatures of Yin. Luckily, your swordsmanship was fierce and powerful, worthy of my teaching. Though there's still room for improvement, before Foster Father could finish, he was seized by a fit of coughing. Rest first, you can teach me another day. Helped him to the bamboo hut to rest, but she didn't notice a trace of snake blood seeping along the cracks on the ground, silently going into the hut. Crick, you gently opened the door to your foster father's room. To your surprise, there was a wooden dummy standing inside the room. For a moment, it was as if it was reaching out to you with its limbs before becoming still and motionless once again. The pressure in the arms is not enough to drive them. The weight in the left foot outweighs the right foot, causing deformities in the form. Father was muttering to himself as he moved to the dummy to cover the room. Before he lowered his head and thought, he made me cut down trees and shovel dirt, but all you're doing was make these wooden dummies. Though only pretending to cry, you could see the past 2 days building the bamboo hut alone. It stirred a tang of genuine grievance, nearly bringing tears to your eyes. Hearing a sob, your foster father quickly turned his head back towards the dummy, hurrying over to gently wipe the mud from your face. Don't cry, the wooden dummy is not for playing around. As he spoke, he took out a tattered manual in his hands. Take a look at this. This was given to me by one of my dearest friends before we entered this valley. It reads, in timbered form, the wooden dummy has limbs akin to man. A soul within by fresh blood gently fanned, infused with genuine power, so pure, so grand. It stands with sword and grip, and stormy thrown adept. It moves, it breathes, as if it never slept. A marvel shaped from wood, and it's in life's own script. If I could make a few of them, they could serve as your companions, and you would never feel alone again. Are you crying, or are you laughing? Not only will these wooden dummies aid you, but they will also be placed inside the valley to defend against wild beasts and unworthy intruders. As he speaks, he searched inside the pile of wood before shaking his head and returning empty-handed, looking slightly distraught. After being ever observant, you quickly realize that he is missing the desired material. Disturbing further, you left your foster father to himself and showed your way out. So busy working on the dummies, I didn't even notice it was out of materials. I vaguely remember a fitch patch of trees growing north of the bamboo hut. I'm sure I'll be able to find some nice wood there. I guess I'll go find some now. Tiles contain various types of resources. Different terrain types provide different kinds and qualities of resources. Gathering in terrain rich in wood will gather more lumber. So that has what? Herbs. That has a lot of everything. That has all. Okay. Wood. Max amount. Click on the tile interaction button on the bottom of the screen to select what resource you wish to get. You can also right click on the tile to quickly open up the chop wood. Sigh, if I give these piles of wood to Phosphor as wooden dummies, I wonder if he'll get angry. Frown at the crooked piece of wood at your feet, but so many trees in the forest, why can't I find any good lumber? You're puzzled, then recall Phosphor's past teaching. Once said, the life of all things follows its own path. North and south slopes have different coordinates. The conditions, the southern slope yields tall trees, the north yields more thickets. If I find good lumber, it will be on the sunny side. Data cultivation benches, skills. Unlock, highlighted, click on to equip it. Mountain Dweller. Increase strength at the start of each month, improves the higher the Mountain Dweller seniority, the greater strength bonus. Relaxation. Gathering after. See? With gathering after resting. I guess. 2? Monk, artisan, bigger. Royalty, scholar, wandering. Quite a few away. 20%. Okay, hover over the button to view the equipped stuff. Yep. Active icon, click on it to activate it. That one is a passive one. That one is an active one. The higher the amount, the more resources. Energy, XP. Skill cooldown of what, 3 months? Gather fabric, unearth jade, unearth metal, chopped wood, give them. Ah. And this is all I got? Like, okay. Well, these trees are beautiful. No wonder Father said that we'll nest nowhere but in these trees. If I bring him some, I'm sure he's going to positively shower me with praise. Excellent delight. Don't worry, little guy. Father's craft is second to none. You're going to look 10 times better than by the time he's done with you. You took out your handkerchief and simply bandaged your wound. Then you shouted the wood you're gathering and happily returned to the way you came. Plus Father's guidance, I'll be able to gather this wood. Think thus, you let out a wave. I'll be spending my days in this deep valley. The many ways of life out there only make me long for them. Alas, I wonder when I can leave this valley and see those myriad ways of living and different people on my own eyes. So I don't dwell on it. Plus Father always does what's best for me. I'd better just hurry back to the bamboo hut and not keep him waiting. Like rush back, like we can do that. Yeah. Okay, first Father, look, I found some fine wood you were looking for. He called out, yet he received no response. He sat motionlessly. Sensing distress, you rushed to his side. There were slivers of white key. Saying quietly, what happened? Are you right? Don't worry about me. I'm fusing wood of my power, what the book said, but I was careless. I set my true key instead. I was unable to move at this. I'm unable to move at this instance. I want you to sharpen some bamboo into 12 9 cm long bamboo needles. I need you to pierce my acupunctures on the wing, median below and above. Upon finishing, he looks as if he's completely exhausted and only set these panting in exhaustion. Tool for commentary plus some leftover green bamboo pieces. I'm building bamboo hut. Hold on, father, I'm coming to save you now. Above. Okay. Hut. Carpentry. Okay. Click target product in the center of the craft thing interface. Switch to specialized target product and select the item you wish to craft. Switch to reagent panel on the left to private vault and select the reagent to be used in crafting. Select the tools. List in the required resource. Once the crafting requirements are met, click the Start Craft button. Tools. There we go. 12 bamboo pierces, all the same width and length. You've quickly washed back out of the bamboo hut. Your foster father was already sweating profusely, looking as if he was going to faint at any moment. You quickly insert each bamboo pierce into one of the acupunctures in the meridian. You follow foster father's instructions, gently held the bamboo's pierces in your hand. Without hesitation, you pierce the 12 on the rim. Suddenly, you were pushed back by a sudden burst of warmth as the white strands of your father's hands broke one by one. Almost instantly, a burst of dark heat escapes his mouth as he, too, was knocked down a few steps. He was finally safe. As relief washes over you, terrified tears streamed down profusely from your eyes as you threw yourself into his arms. There, am I right, child? Gently wiping away your tears, he continues, "Today is of ill fortune indeed. If I saw my precious child cry twice on the same day." Hearing your foster father's hearty laugh drove away your fear and brought back a smile to your face. Open it right now. This is the book's doing. So he turned towards the upright wooden puppet and brought his fist together in salute. "Do not believe we've met before. Who are you? Why do you seek to take my true care and do me harm?" "I don't believe we have met before. Who are you? Why do you..." Okay. Sammy, on the other hand, remained completely motionless and still. He could not help but begin to worry about his foster father. Being obsessed with that male in which true care has been sapped, could his injuries just have done a number on his head? Just as doubt began to sprout in your mind, the wooden dummy suddenly stood up and laughed almost maniacally. "Ha! Looks like I was one move behind. I didn't think this little girl could return so quickly." The wooden dummy opened his mouth to speak, sounding almost like two pieces of wood. "Bang Tiva, why don't you take a guess who I am?" He cast glances between your foster father and the speaking dummy, as bewildered as if you were dreaming. Yang becomes empty as Yang becomes a deity, standing in sanctuary onward to immortality. Father spoke slowly. Each sentence made the wooden dummy laugh with glee and ignorance, except Father paused as he changed his tone. "You may have cultivated a powerful form, but you lack the mortality and virtue. You are no immortal. You will be nothing but a shapeless ghost doomed to wander this plane in an inanimate husk." "Ah, a shapeless ghost, you say?" Unswayed by the provocational words, the dummy raised its claws, began stroking its chin as if to brush a patch of non-existent beard. "Father, could this be some demon reincarnated through a corpse?" "Your arrogance is appalling. girl, Dummy spoke sharply, his turn to foster father, and continued. I have been inside the manual in your position for a long time, yearning for the day that someone will construct a husk worthy of being a vessel for my soul. Yet my anticipation has been met with failure after failure until you, my little blacksmith, managed to grasp the secrets of the manual and said, if I wasn't in such a rush to return to my corporeal form, I'd keep you alive for longer. Tell you what, if you let me have all your true key so I can regain my physical form, I'll spare your life. What do you say? Have you no shame? It is you who should be begging us for your life. Just as you finished angry words, your foster father began to lose his balance and crumble to the ground. Horrified, you rushed to his side and brought him back, set him up, while the would-be dummy let out a sinister laugh with his hands behind his back. I don't think foster father was hurt this bad. That explains why the sick fellow was so confident. You're no match for me, little girl. Kowtow, kneel, and bow to me, and call me immortal thou thrice. Then I will allow you to tuck tail and run. Shame it here to how dare you call yourself immortal thou. I don't need my father to deal with you, I'll grind you to dust myself. To escape, there would be no drops. Don't make a sound, my child, just as you're about to lunge at immortals. Zao. Your father suddenly shouted his voice into your head. Immortal Zao is not an enemy you should underestimate. When it puts its dummy, there was a defiance in its legs. When the opportunity raised, strike between its waist and the upper. You silently listen to your foster father's instruction and take it to heart. Let's circulate key, focus your mind and establish a firm stance. Strike with a sword. Casting annihilation model key usually consumes an inhale and stance. Loading weapons, attacks, and enemy bring struck. Inhale naturally regenerates over time. Unleash free saw with strikes, but each was easily defected by immortal. See, curse if he had been deflected my upright and stance, I wouldn't be able to fully unleash my cloud, which I do. Might be young and inexperienced, but you've got a talent with that sword, however, even with unyielding body. With this unwieldy body, I can still see through your attacks with ease. Your attempts are nothing but futile. You'll pay for your arrogance, eat this. With a crisp cry, you raised your sword and stabbed forward. Morally, you flicked his left hand and your blade began to tilt away from its trajectory and missed its intended target. Your attempt are futile. With almost mechanical laugh, Nosy raises his right hand like a claw and lunges towards the meridian on your wrist. Bend down and swing swing sideways, aim for its right elbow. Just as the moment became tense, your foster father began to speak in your head. Without thinking, you quickly retracted your sword and began swinging it like a saber. The timing and aim couldn't have been more perfect. Fearing the strike, Molly put back in distress. Now's your chance. Aim for his leg. Strike 3 times in quick succession. Your foster father said. By style is gained through attack. After successful hitting an enemy, you'll gain a corresponding technique based on the style used. With your sword, foster father shouted loudly. This time the voice was no longer protected in your heels. Directly hearing this, stabbed on his feet in surprise, revealing an opening in his legs. Fast enough, a complete set of blade arts and verbally before her eyes. First job was slaying blade art is low and crouching, specialized for severing legs and feet. Legends say cut off the turtle's legs to prop up 4 poles of heaven. This art is named of slaying, meaning to slash. A single slash can sever the legs that uphold the 4 pillars. The power it wields is extraordinary beyond comparison. Let's see the use conditions. After meeting, use conditions. Click. Cast it. Okay, that took a while. Do damage. battle, the higher the displayed power multiplier, the greater the damage dealt. Victor is still... Yes. You lost, Freak, not even halfway through unleashing the sword with a powerful blade art. Was already suffering from a heavy blow to his chest. His legs shattered as he let out a chilling cry before falling to the ground. Despite knowing the fact that you are only slicing a wood dummy, you cannot help but feel the sense of sympathy towards it. You know you deserve the pain. Father will decide what to do with you. Quit being silly. Wood feels no pain. I will not make that same mistake twice. Your singing might be sharp, you little blacksmith. You're quite resourceful, impressive. Don't waste your breath with him, my daughter. Object what you do with him. Phosphorus, such arrogance. What can you insignificant mortals expect to do? I am divine in the flesh. You can destroy my vessel 1,000 times, but it will only take myself 3 days to emerge from the ashes to exact my vengeance. All spoke in disdain as he rambled. Branch, he threw it on the ground, his dummy wound. You speak nothing but shameful boast. Hey, was my father's. You should at least ask before taking them. Come to me, my daughter, let him be for now. You do not have the means to defeat him at this very moment. After I regain my power in 2 days' time, however, he will not find us easy prey again. Father spoke in a cold, fretting tone, pretending not to hear, instead choosing to continue mending his broken silence. Fast father passed considered glances as he returned. My daughter, you injured? Was there blood on the wood in his hand? Smile and glare as you twist round. There's just a small wound. I splintered when chopping wood earlier. See it clearly now. One day, one does not simply escape from destiny. Father nodded before shaking his head. Attitude and spoke. This is not how you install these joints. How should I lend your hand? Can't help but let us sigh. Yeah, it's like, why would you do that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Secret study and bottleneck breakthrough. It's been months since Morley took refuge inside the wooden dummy. During the time, and foster father held each other like shadows. They shared the same pair of boots, ate the same food, and never spent a moment out of each other's company. Puzzled, you can even begin to fathom how his foster father managed to keep this old fox on a leash, keeping his mouth shut. But even won't tell me anything. What could they be up to? Be careful, come down, my daughter. Words interrupt your thoughts. As your mind returned to you, you saw foster father ending under the same tree as you, not far behind. To no one's surprise, stood Morley with his hands behind his back. Months pass. You have mastered my craft of carpentry. The time is nigh. It is time for you to learn this martial art, this new martial art. As he spoke, he took out a manual and handed it to you. The heavens, mechanism. Or wasn't this manual that taught you how to build that wooden dummy? No wonder you only teaching me handcrafts for the past few months. You're preparing me for this moment. The past few glances toward. Yes, you spoke. Deep down, you were sure that he had something to do with this. Tattoo. Book. Ranged weapons. A secret martial art containing the martial arts of celestial profound mechanisms. In addition to observing obscure original text, the manual is a sleek pack with many notes in its margins, most of which are in foster father's handwriting. Peculiar might supreme. The user gains 1 stack of the following effect after casting this. Martial art power at 60%. When the user's total defeat markers meet the defeat condition, all of users' removal injury marks and wound marks are removed. Half of the removed marks are transferred to the enemy, and half become the user's harness state. The martial art will become inevitably sealed until the end of battle. Whoa. That's another life. Like, that's just another whole life, huh? Like, bam. I was like, yeah, that's another whole life. Don't mind if I do. Let out a dry cough, ignoring the face you are making. Snorted coldly before turning around to leave. You correct the words inscribed with this manual. Concerns your life and death. You must study its content diligently and master it with utmost haste. Study it. That's my girl. All hours looks as if it was one keeping shackles on father. Father and that old freak must be hiding something from me. It looks like father has yet to bring the monster under control, but I guess the good news is that he also can't overpower my father either. They're locked in a struggle, neither of them can win. I should have known. I wish I was more powerful, then I could help father out. No point in complaining. I should get back on my task and study this like he asked me to. Click on the study book and alright, click on the book you want to study. Study. Will be destroyed after study session. What? Okay. So we'll get that there, and we'll get some of the might, and then let the month go. Bye. Prologue. Now month the pig. For study, you may trigger the infantry. Cool. Okay. Click on the study button to enter the study interface and click on it too. Studying a martial art book has a chance to trigger peculiar insight and enlightenment after battle. Studying a fine art book has a chance to trigger insight after debate. Immediately increase study for the current book, consumes an amount of comprehension, and uses different strategies to gain extra study bonuses from the book. Interface, you can consume the character's comprehension to use study strategies, increase the book studies effectiveness. Select any chapter and choose to study. Bam. Okay. Yes, 100%. I see the heavens mechanism sure is a hard piece of work to master. If father hadn't put notes on all the hard parts, it would have taken me decades to even break the surface. But reading it is just reading. Time to put it to use. I've learned, and to practice, I should train and give it a try. Training will be dull, but the road to success is one paved with hard work and diligence. Once someone's martial art has been reached at this level, we say that they've reached a bottleneck. Those who lack stamina and comprehension will find themselves stranded at the stage, unable to break through. You must sharpen your mind, tread through danger, and break through your limitations to achieve beyond your bottleneck. Open the bottleneck. A breakthrough interface. Click on the lower left corner to view the character and enter the breakthrough interface. Character. Breakthrough. Select fully studied martial arts and choose one general outline and 5 breakthrough. Breakthrough. Oops, it already had them out. Ruler. Okay. Start from any starting node in the 4 corners of the breakthrough interface and successfully connect adjacent breakthrough nodes until you reach the center goal node and complete the breakthrough. Okay. How many do I have? makes basic and routine breakthrough. 100% connection rate for the next node. Breakthrough nodes randomly generate a small amount of power cap and lock compression breakthrough nodes again. Okay. Property. Do I not have enough? What's that? Provide any cap. Like that. Power cap. All breakthrough nodes within 2 range. Oh, that just reveals them? So we should use all of those to get more of a power cap. Yeah. Okay. Just break through the bottleneck in Heaven's mechanism that doesn't feel too hard. Secretly study and break through. There we go. Key cultivation secrets of longevity. On the night of the same day, you were hurried off to bed in the bamboo hut by your foster father. At the same time, he stayed up diligently as he worked hard to repair the wooden dummy possessed by the immortal. You worked so hard to help such a wicked being. Could there's some sort of plan? He never tells me anything. He was like this. I hadn't come back early today while he still had enough left in him to press his teaching upon me. I shuddered to think how ugly things would have been. If only I was stronger, I would be able to protect him better. I once said, despite the plethora of martial arts available in the world, they all depend on the power of the key art. To empower one's chi, one must constantly contract circulation with diligence. Taking your foster father's word to heart, you began to secretly recite the chant of abundance that he had taught you. Since I feel completely void of all urges to sleep, maybe I should try this a microcosmic circulation method. Click on in the left bar. Select the key art that you wish to learn and begin studying it. Chant of abundance. Oh, it's like the most basic one there is. Taking a different learning approach to inner key bearing, the chant of abundance enables by repeating tempering the key they inhale, building up fully and releasing spontaneously. Once a martial art master is this technique, the power will increase of falter as the key is consumed. Okay. They'll increase them all 20%. No, they'll increase them all the same amount. Cool, yeah, wait a month. You can circulate key and obtain key and circulate true key, improving your internal cultivation. The method of a microcosmic circulation can be viewed in the interface. Although I can conduct circulation and is corrected by the chant of abundance, A 1,000-mile journey cannot be complete by a single day's diligence. I must continually work hard and empower my key in the hopes of being useful to my foster father one day. Channeling key arts cannot be achieved overnight, but has wondrous effects. It can be used for wondrous uses. If you diligently practice it often, you can not only accomplish deep key, but also increase your circulation true key, making your efforts double effective. Looked up by the sound of the voice and saw foster father smiling at her. Behind her, the old demon was nowhere to be found. I finished fixing that old man demon. Don't have time for me. Did you practice diligently? As a formation now. Now you can guide and comprehend the key in your dungeon to further your skills. Yep. Which enhances different combat attributes. Keep you reassigned to annihilation number key. For your key can be assigned to. That's our attack. That's our physical penetration, precision, parlay. We used all our all our key. True key is so. If we put this key into our body, that's the maximum amount our body can handle. My little, you're truly gifted, but the martial art world is treacherous. Sometimes even those with low cultivation can turn defeat into victory with a surprising move. If one is careless, even profound power can be lost. Little demon, if you hadn't used that sneaky move, he could never have hurt you. You have great ideas. Reincarnated in the wooden dummy, entirely numb to pain. Isn't he the perfect training partner for you to have honed martial skills? Upon hearing these words, your foster father burst into laughter, leaving you utterly at loss. He and the old man seemed far from enemies. Hurt you, or do you speak as if you're asking for his help? Silly girl, as the saying goes, safety and danger exchange places. Fortune and misfortune give birth to each other. Urgency and leisure grind against each other. Gathering and scattering complete each other. Things in the world are not always black and white. With this, foster father clapped his hands behind his back and walked towards the bamboo hut. Where is autumn, longing of youth? Oh, 8 tears? Okay. I am asked to instruct you. Hurry up and pay your respect. Voice comes from outside the hut, sounding only a few meters away. That the old demon would practice martial arts with me. He's here today. Step out the bamboo hut and saw not far away 5 strange stones pointed with runes in yellow, green, blue, red and purple. Standing on the east, west and central position, in front of the red stone, a wooden dummy was reaching its wooden claw under its chin as if stroking a beard. I have spent a millennium on cultivation, an incarnation of a mortal, if not for a little blacksmith's begging on his hands and knees. Would I bother playing games with a little girl like you? Demon, you lost to me. What ability could you possibly have the foster father would beg you for? You have a sharp tongue. Little girl, the stone formation is formed by the secret art of the 5 elements and matches my Psychromore secret. If you care in as much touch a single hair on my splint on me, this time I'll admit defeat and let you do what you will. Quick laugh and looks quite pleased. Demon's annoying, but I can't waste the father's good intention. Think about this, you see no more and step into the formation. Okay. Stepped into the stone formation. The ruins of the 5 strange stones look quite familiar. The red rune was like a blazing sun, the yellow was like a golden lotus, the green like a young sprout, the blue runes surged like waves, the pearl drifted like clouds, the remnants of the five-element key her foster father had once mentioned. But before she could ponder further, a creaking sound was heard. A woodling on immortal Ye's arm flapped its wings and lunged at her. Your key is way harder than you. Yeah, we used all ours, don't we? Holy crap. Not seen you for a few days again. Your skills improved again. Remarkable, true remarkable. Alas, before my 5-element stone formation, you are utterly helpless. Morty tilted his head back, laughing off a creek. However, couldn't bear a word he said. Thinking back at the battle just now, she was deeply puzzled. How could Moroki's one body be impervious to her blades? Why did her strike seem to disappear without effect, as if landing in cotton? See the traits. Use the method of Heaven's Magnum to recast all the body joints for Molly. Relying on morphing, mobilize the power of the 5 elements, operating secret ingenuity, and actually made the exploding dummy's body impervious to swords and blades. What a wily old demon, truly full of tricks. But the old demon, in order to operate the Heaven's secret, converted his true key into fire. Once said yin yang, 5 elements generating and overcoming each other. If I can make use of his key clash with his martial arts, then I can harm him. He will suffer the recoil from his own martial arts. Use fire key. In the chaos interface, key. Okay. Elemental key to make a clash with fire. Was overjoyed and blurted out. Seemed not to hear, simply hugging his arms and turned his face, ignoring her. Seeing the light swirling on the runes on the large red stone behind him. An idea struck her. Could it be the old demon used the strange stone to convert his own elemental key? I scanned the platform. Expected stones from other hills may seem to polish jade. These strange stones actually changed his key. Yes. Strange stone stands tall through it words all beings, scorches fire, forging does not seem to clash. Water hides the great fish of cone. Water meets fire, it will surely be extinguished. Focus her mind, channeling her key, activates it. Rune and blast the cold air straight towards Molly. Has now been converted to water. Engage in battle. I can't get in range. I'm too slow. Dude. You need to borrow the power of the water stone. Quite perceptive, but weak fire meets water, it will be extinguished. Even if my Truke is converted to water, the power of my clock chain cannot be fully utilized. It is still more than enough to handle you. Wood, metal. recent battle. Bam. Suffers from the recall of his own martial art. Having his true ki clash within him before he could make another move, he suddenly cries out, ouch, and tumbles to the ground. Haha. Metal extinguishes fire, leading to destruction. You know how to borrow the power of the metal stone formation, quite impressive. Grumbled as he stood up, brushing the dust off his clothes. Hearing this, recalled the recent battles. It was clear it had intentionally set the formation teach for the principles, generation, and overcoming. Although she knew he wasn't a good person, she couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt as she towards him. Take a look. I spent millennia on cultivation. How could anything happen? Suddenly called at her, then turned and left. Yeah, like he knows what he's doing. Kind of complete. You're able to return to the wood hut. Sound faint yet present seemed far from the horizon. Curiously, you follow the sound. It follows it. You're standing at the entrance of the dark valley. As you gaze in distance, several dozen colourful river barges were slowly crashing across the river. What a beautiful music had been. As you listen to the music, you follow the barges as they float downstream into the distance. It wasn't until you stepped outside the valley did you realize your foster father's stern words. Oh no, Foster said to never step outside the valley. He said without a valley's protection I would only bring death and demise upon me. Just as you were leaving, you heard a chant. What the hell? Bro! How stupid can you be? Bro gets distracted by the music and leaves. It's like, what? Obviously don't do that. About to leave, you hear a chant coming from behind you. Turning around, you saw a young... been expecting you. Been forgotten about me. It is understandable. You're only 4 when our paths crossed. Or you've been born yet. When death spoke falsely. You remember the time you were 4. Made a wish in my temple behind my statue. You finally remembered. My nameless monk has gone through many. Don't know my names for the ages. However, you call me young monk, as you did 9 years ago. Why does it have an eye on it? We seem to have many burning questions. No matter if you do not mind me lack of finesse with words, I'm happy to allow you. Avatar of the state and the temple. He is both a person and not a person, part of the living beings in the world, yet slightly different from them at the same time. I am but a single monk. My meager existence in this world does not deserve any worship. Have you forgotten my statue was shackled by chains? You were the one that freed me out of the goodness of your heart. The temple you speak of was nothing but a prison to me. What wish did I make? I remember it like it was yesterday. Flood in the Yellow River killed thousands and starved millions. There was a sea of corpses stretched as far as the eyes could see. You captured by a band of murdering soldiers. Just as life was about to end, they began fighting amongst themselves, slaying each other in a twist of fate as they drew their swords upon each other. Having narrowly survived, you made a wish in front of the statue, asking me to bring salvation to the people and return peace and prosperity to the world. You also freed the iron shackles chaining me to the temple. You made the selfless wish to bring salvation to the people and returning peace and prosperity to the world. In front of the statue, you will be happy to learn that after 9 years I finally accomplished this task. Putting aside the fact that I'm a small child making a reasonable risk, even if there was a god somewhere that was capable of such feat, how does it explain the slaughter and turmoil my foster father and I bore witness over the years? Always told me the emperor died and the dynasty is being run to the ground. The world has tumbled into anarchy. Only days of suffering and agony lay before us. A man of religion should not lie. How can you claim to bring salvation to the cruel world? Young one, all the suffering of the world is precisely the sign of upcoming salvation and prosperity to come. The suffering in this world, it stems from incomprehension and ignorance. Thus I allowed the wicked to take up the butcher's knife, granting them awareness of the evil within. By letting the sinful become aware of this vice, I have rid the world of ignorance. I have brought upon the world where both evil and virtue have no place to hide. Is it not salvation at all? No man is perfect, and man's imperfect breeds chaos. The world runs by the natural order. Those who follow it are just, and those who deny it are corrupt. Yet the foolishness of man always drives them to impart their own rules upon the world, none more than those who sit upon high on the throne of power. Thus I have expected 30 emperors within the short span of 9 years, rooting out their ministers and supporters. And at last the power of the emperor is no more. The world is now in anarchy. I have returned the natural order to this world. Have I not done this world a favour? Have I not brought salvation and into chaos? At least come with me so you can bring salvation another way. Why do you hurt me so? It's like, well, suddenly powerful gust. Don't just strike his face into me. In the last palm strike, how could such an ordinary young monk possess so much power? He might even be more powerful than Phosphor, but you'll up and draw your sword. Many months, but could not find your whereabouts until a deep serpent's corrupt blood broke the array. Then I could sense your is this not the monk's Buddha's guidance that you and I should save the suffering world together? Why do you not trust my words and come with me? It hurts me a lot. But I know could failed. I felt fearing the father's safety, only wanted to shake off the distant monk. Their moves grew increasingly fierce, but the young's robe deflected attacks with my ability and the sword in my hand. Not just this land, even the entire world would be my playthings for us. You sick outlaw, I knew you were up to something. You are the sword, and the sword is yourself. Besides, I desire the sword, or desire you. The my goal has always been the same. My foster father, I shall not part ways with you. For me, I look like my sincere words have fallen on deaf ears. What a shame. Looks like I have to tie you up. Then I have all the time in the world to slowly convince you. Done. Hey. Holy crap. So this art I have just doesn't work, right? Because it said that I'd move it, I'd cancel out mine, give them half. Yeah. You began vomit blood profusely, your vision becomes blurred as you fall to the ground. Forgive me. Your mind began to fade as it sank deeper. You felt as if you were falling into a deep, bottomless abyss. Suddenly the sword in your hand began to shake as an elderly voice began to speak within the sword. Well, what should we save her? They held up. Time for me to have some fun. Crowley and Patience, young man's voice. Screw and Patience, get out of my way, you weakling. Cut your arguing. The woman's voice began to speak. I don't think she's going to hold on for long. We were all once the wield of the sword. We must help. Nothing but a bird trapped in her cage. I advise against it. I'll follow what you do. It's not yet, and it's not time yet. Do not jump to action. It'll be all over if she's dead. We must not hesitate. Dozens of voices arguing in your head. But you struggled to speak, but your voices were quietly drowned out like a speck of dust in a storm of voices. Your thoughts began to fall silent as an empty void began to envelop you. You felt a sense of enlightenment before your brain, and yet in a second it was gone. You we are one. You let out a small sigh. Almost immediately the argument raging within the sword came to an abrupt halt. Well said. After momentary silence the voices and the sword began to laugh. Do it, a resounding voice suddenly said. As the words burst forth from the sword, you suddenly felt as if your body was being held by dozens of hands, lifting you from the chasm with an awesome heave. Ah, what a sword of egolessness. What a sword, Mr. Young Manx. The young man's excellence. You slowly opened your eyes. For a moment you felt as if the sun and moon had stopped. All things halted, sensing a state of no being, no end, no past, no present. You found yourself wielding unfamiliar sword techniques, forcing the young monk back several meters. My purity has reached the realm of one of all. Father once said the purity is the essence, a result of a complete cultivation of lifetimes. With my current cultivation, how can I possess such profanity? Haha, allow me to pass down my calculations, is now unsealed. And monk spoke with twisted expression. Now, but can you be certain you can master all the power is held within the sword in such a short span? Let out another laugh before lunging at you. Suddenly, before the young monk could choose to close the distance with you, you felt a blast of power suddenly filling your veins. The sword is teeming with genuine power. Oh crap, obviously didn't mean to click that. Open character sheet, tab, pure essence. Realm reflects a character's battle strength in a certain extent. With the pure two characters too great. A powerful pure essence pressure effect will occur. Pure essence 15. Void return. Wow. Yeah, okay. Yes, we acknowledge that. Come to release my true key. Take this with you with wicked monk. True key surrounds my body. The monk can no longer harm me, but what's the sword art I'm using? Something I've never seen before. Unlimited sword art. Born of evil, how dare spread your vile lies and sow suffering amongst innocent. I will sever your evil soul and extinguish your wicked root. Bring power from the sword and formed into powerful energy blast. Haha, genuine power of ages unleashed, divine sword unsheathed. Haha, to think that even my most powerful avatar cannot stand to the power of the Fuyu sword. The young monk let out a sinister laugh before standing up. Suddenly a blast of dark aura burst forth from his forehead. It's you. Come, it is time to fulfill your destiny. A ruined battle-age, shattered husk, and departed soul. It's getting late, has yet to return. Where she's run off to? Into trouble. Previous night, the stars were dim and were hidden from the sky. Tell me, blacksmith, what these signs foretell. Signs of a mystery to come. If you want to say something, you might as well spell it out. Little girl's it's already upon her. Boys, boast of your knowledge of heaven and earth, life and death, yin and yang, you fail to realize that this tempered by fate would be destined to stand above the boundaries of mere ordinary knowledge. It is only normal. The heart rays are often what clouds our judgment. You are simply refusing to accept the truth. I separated myself from my body earlier to scour around the valley. Your daughter is long gone. Affair, why are you making up such things to tease me? Might be a risky deed for such an significant spirit, but I'm a celestial incarnate. For me it is akin to giving a slight lift of my finger. With my daughter, we're going to the valley entrance. Located, click on the event. Snaps around the valley mouth, not a single bird or beast in sight, dead silence, and the faint stench of blood. The two rushed to the valley entrance, one after the other, their hearts growing incredibly uneasy and fearful with every step. The two hurried towards the valley entrance. Midway, they they saw scattered stones along the path, stained with blood. Drops of blood. After another dozen or so steps, a large pool of blood appeared before them, dark, red, almost brown, a surprising sight. With such severe injuries, even medicine would be useless. I am immortal incarnate. The two hurried towards the midway. They saw sword markings crisscrossing the surrounding grass, trees and rocks. Sword key still lingering. Its residual power pulled. How strange, how very strange. The little girl had such skill. Could be. If so, why would the little blacksmith worry? Two leap one after another towards the valley's entrance. They could not help but feel a sense of dread and uneasiness as they made their way. When they arrived, they were shocked to find the ground had been scorched to cindered black. The plants in the vicinity were vaporized into black stone. The ground spattered with blood stains. Whilst the father stared at the blood stains, his tears suddenly began to rise profusely across his face. Laying there tattered in blood was a ripped outfit belonging to her. My daughter, my daughter. Such a shame. And thought his father grabbed the tattered remains. He was surprised to find something wrapped inside. It was a crisp chain that contained within fell into the ground. This is the hilt of the sword. You shout at it as you take the hilt and the robes into your arm before scanning around, yet failing to locate any fragments of the shattered blade. What's going on here? Sword hilt made from an unknown material with the word inscribed on it. It bears no sign of ever being broken, yet its blade nowhere to be found. I know we made a deal. I'll take in place of your daughter, and then you'll build me a new body, and I'll get to keep all your true key. But now your daughter's dead. Looks like deal's off. Let's part ways here and follow our separate destinies. Shook his head as he began to make his way towards the valley exit. Father wiped the tears from his face and stopped in his tracks. Surely, jest, haven't seen my daughter's body yet. I dare say that it's too early to make assumptions. Even if she did perish here and became dust in the wind, I can still use your blood proxy to revive my daughter from the ashes. What are you talking about? Start making sense. The word used as in all the vital parts of her body have been infused with my daughter's blood. She mastered the heaven mixing, not just her, but all her ailments and afflictions will be suffered by you instead. Aye, but who would thought? If she is truly in danger, do you think I'd let a powerful blood proxy like you escape? You're everything I need to reunite with my daughter. And I would fall for your dirty tricks. You're now nothing but a pathetic spirit. Bend your will to me. Father cast a mysterious spell that surrounded the joints on his body. Let a surprised yelp as he lost control of his limbs, his soul being shackled to his body as he crumbled into a motionless mass on the ground. Soul. And that was the full tutorial. That was the full tutorial and prologue, since they were basically the same thing, right? It looks like there's quite a few different DLCs, huh? We'll play the base game and then see how it goes, eh? 30 minutes give us anything? Little tutorials. Road crew. Okay. Yeah,